Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. All right, let's get to it. Not going to be a very long podcast today. Just a couple of updates. Oh, haven't put my cover on. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see who's in the chat. Hey, Sabina. Hey, Resistors. Hey, Wendy. Vanessa. Hey, Black Queen. Susie Q. Fancy. Hey. Emma. Jedi Lady. Don't think I've seen you before. Hello. Are you a silent one? Every now and again, I see like new names that I don't think I've seen before. Thank you as always, Church Nelly, for posting videos. By the way, archwell.com .org posted a video, behind the scenes video of Colombia. So you can either go to the website or you can go to my Instagram, Doctors of Success Official, to see that video. Very nice video from Archwell, giving us some behind the scenes stuff. Would be great if we could actually get an Instagram account. You can switch off the comments, guys. I get it. I know there's haters, but what are you going to do? Just switch off the comments. I think Archwell had posted something on, what's that website? Is it Vimeo? Something like that? It's like a posher version of YouTube, and some squaddies found it. And it's like, really? Just give us YouTube and an Instagram, guys. You can just switch off the comments. It's fine. We want to see more. All right, let's get to it. Enough of me moaning. Okay, first things first. Andrew Trash Tate and his brother, Tristan Trash Tate, have been done on more charges have come forward about them. And contrary to misinformation by their evil PR campaign on Twitter, the bots, I mean, they're really doing the most to spread misinformation. And, you know, despite the fact that this case is ongoing, it would appear that nothing in the law is stopping them from speaking about it publicly or terrorizing their victims. I really do hope that this case becomes a point of change for victims, for women who are pulled into these schemes. Because essentially what was happening is he was pulling them in, pretending that he wanted relationships with them, pretending that they would get maybe just some model work or something like that. But it was all just one big scheme to pull women into his webcam business. And again, despite whatever misinformation out there or what people's feelings and opinions are, your feelings and opinions don't matter to the law and what over 100 countries recognize and have as a definition of trafficking. There is a very specific legal definition of what trafficking is. And numerous countries around the world came together and decided upon this definition and have signed on what trafficking means. And there's different criteria. But under that criteria, Tate and his brother and their associates are considered human traffickers. And even if you don't want to believe that, their attitudes towards women, many of the things that they have done and said are just trash. These are not examples to men and boys, but they have become examples to men and boys. And I am so happy that they are going to be made an example of. And having actually looked into the evidence of this case, it is very likely that they will be extradited to the UK and very likely that they're going to be jailed on several counts, because now we're looking at almost 50 victims, including minors. And since Andrew here is boldless, I was going to say something else there, but let me just watch my tongue because I don't want to get censored. Since Andrew had our good sister's Meghan's name on his mouth, today I would like to encourage you to donate I think there's only 1 day left of this crowdfunder, by the way, to the law firm McHugh and Jory partners, I think that is, who are actually representing Tate's lawyers. If you would like to donate, the link is there. And let's get yet an abusive male and his brother and yet another Meghan hater. Let's help to get them in the slammer. Off they go and throw away the key. By the way, after the last hearing, Andrew and his brother came out of the courthouse. Andrew was flapping his gum. I mean, you can just tell that this guy is a complete megalomaniac. He is so convinced of his own greatness. And he clearly doesn't want to admit that the gig is up. His brother, on the other hand, looked completely and utterly lost. He looked about 10 seconds away from going back to the police and saying, I'm going to give you all the evidence if you give me a lesser sentence. Like, the video is hilarious. It's been going around. And I hope that they do make an example of him. I hope that the Romanian authorities, who must be absolutely embarrassed, because this guy literally bragged that he went to Romania because he knew that he would much easier, it would be much easier for him to get away with these crimes. And up until now, he has. So I hope they make an example of him. And I hope that the men and boys who look up to this degenerate male learn a lesson. And I hope a lot more can come from this. Better protections for victims, tighter laws, harsher laws. And please, link, I will be posting throughout the talk today. If you would like to donate, and if you do donate, please put Sussex Squad so they know where the donation came from, okay? All right, just wanted to say that. Hopefully another hater will go down. And here's another one. Samantha Markle. I haven't really spoken about this case because it's a non-case. And I had suspected that she is possibly being funded by someone who just wants to get under Meghan and Harry's skin. And the verdict on that is still out, but maybe we may have an answer, and that it would appear that her lawyer took on this case pro bono in hope of some positive attention after the settlement, and also any money that may have been paid out. But it would appear that it's all just going completely wrong, as it was always going to, because this is a non-case. They are wasting the court's time. So this was posted on Twitter. It says, but obtaining another mortgage would be difficult. So this is about Samantha Markle's lawyer, as he has not received a salary since October the 13th, 2023, due to the financial difficulties of Mr. Tickton's firm. Mr. Tickton estimates that a judgment of more than $50,000 would cause great hardship. The financial status of Mr. Tickman's law firm is outlined in the affidavit and the accompanying profit and loss statements. At the hearing, Mr. Tickman simply reiterated his financial status and then claimed a hardship for any award over $100,000 beyond the self-serving statements made in July 2024. Mr. Tickman has not provided to this court with compelling evidence to support the claims of financial hardship of any award over $100,000. However, this court is satisfied that a reduction of the lodestar total of over $200,000 is warranted given the current financial status of the law firm, as detailed in Ms. Boken's affidavit and accompanying financial statements. And more significantly, okay, I think this is going into more like about his law firm. Hang on a sec. Let me just read through this so I don't bore you with the whole thing. Okay, there's a lot of like law jargon in this, but basically, long story short, without getting into any of the law jargon, Samantha Markle's lawyer is broke and his law firm is failing. That's basically what's happening here. Karma is doing its work. You know, there was a picture of Meghan and Harry. I don't have it here, but it's a picture of Meghan and Harry. And this was when they were in Colombia. And I think this was the day that they was it the day that they went to the Afro Women's Summit? And Afro-Colombian women had their hands on Meghan's head and they were giving her an ancestral prayer. You cannot mess with the spirits. It is going after everyone who tried to mess with Meghan and anyone who aided in trying to mess with her. So let this be a lesson and a message. Stop trying to mess with our good sis. Literally everyone who's gone after them, who's gone after Harry and Meghan, is failing and flailing. Karma is coming for them one fall down the stairs at a time. Yes, Valerie. Look what the Lord has done. It's marvelous. Yes, Church Nelly. God don't play. He does not play. Julia, you said Scammy looks like a crucified onion. No apologies. Her and the half brother as well, who is all over the interwebs, doing disgusting skits of Meghan. I mean, this is all they can do. Bully. They've got nothing to their names. Miss Levy, you said that lawyer will get all the wrong attention. What a fool. Exactly. He's going to go broke. And then maybe if there was anyone actually helping fund this at any point, I feel like Samantha and the lawyer will probably start quacking. This was a non-case from the very beginning. Anyway, let's get this ugly face off the screen, and let's put another ugly face on the screen. Arthur Edwards, this rambling fool who thinks that Harry was his friend. Do you remember that video? I played it some time ago where he was like, oh, Harry used to be able to talk to Harry, and he's changed. You never knew him. You're just a photographer for the Scum Sun newspaper. That's all you are. And nothing special about you. You don't know Harry. You actually don't know anyone in the royal family. You are just someone who works for the tabloids. I've mentioned this before, and I think I actually need to do a more in-depth podcast about this, but the relationship between some of these royal Rota rats and the royals themselves is just weird. It's this weird power dynamic where the Rota rats want access, they want the gossip, they want the dirt, and they, on the one hand, they have to stay in line when it comes to certain things, but on the other hand, they get this sick pleasure from being so close to the royals and also having, a sense of collateral that they hold over their heads, because it's like, well, we could out you at any time. And we know all your gossip and we know all your dirt. I mean, there was that video of Emily Andrews. If I can get it back one time, maybe I'll play it in another podcast, which is literally sitting there like a schoolgirl talking about how, oh, she, I had a lunch with the Duchess, and I know the press was saying this and the press was saying that, but really what the issue was, I mean, if only you guys knew, like that kind of tone. And you call yourself a journalist. They're not journalists. They're just gossip rats. That's what they are. But Arthur here was having another breakdown on TV. So let's have a listen to this bumbling fool who is pissed that the other royals aren't paying his mortgage the way that he would like. Because it's Harry and Meghan that bring in the money for these people. And they have zero access. All they have now is secondhand information. They don't know any more or less than what we know. They don't have immediate access. They have to report secondhand, and they are hating it. So let's have a listen.
In my view, it's just it's a sad event, a sad occasion, and this tour just summed it all up. They're going around trying to pretend that they're somebody, and they're nobody anymore, because if you're not a working member of the royal family, then what are you? You're a spare. And at the moment, you know, they need everybody working for them. There's a lot of work to do. The king isn't very well. Catherine's not very well, but they're still, certainly the king's still carrying. In my view, it's
Okay, so I'm going to give commentary. Let's listen to that again.
just, it's a sad event, a sad occasion. And this tour just summed it all up. You know, they're going around trying to pretend that they're somebody, and they, you know what, they're nobody anymore, because, you know, if you're not a working member of the royal family, then what are you? You're a...
And yet you want access to them. And yet journalists, sorry, not journalists, tabloid rats who are not invited as journalists were flying all the way from the UK all the way to Colombia, probably never even been to South America themselves. You flew all the way to report on two people who are apparently nothing and nobody. You are sitting here crying on TV about two people who are apparently nothing and no one. And any information that you did get secondhand, you wrote as many articles as you possibly could about two people who you claim are nothing and no one, just spares. Tell me you're going broke without telling me you're going broke.
Spare. And at the moment, you know, they need everybody working for them. It's a lot.
They need everybody working for them, but I thought that Charles wanted a slim down monarchy. I thought the whole point of the way the monarchy was going now was it was meant to be slimmed down. The Ozempic monarchy. So 5 minutes ago we wanted a slimmed down monarchy, and now you need all hands on deck. What about the other minor royals? What about Sophie? What about Edward? I mean, if the whole point is that being a royal means that you're everything, the people want you, that's where the attention goes. You're the most high. So if they are so special, why are you in such a panic? You're in a panic because you know the interest for the others just isn't there. That interest is waning. And the interest for Harry and Meghan is increasing. It's been there since day one.
Work to do. The king isn't very well. Catherine's not very well.
You know, he also says that there's a lot of work to do. I would like to know what work this is. Can somebody please tell me what work this is? Working royal, there's no such thing. It's an oxymoron. There's no such thing as a working royal. And indeed, Charles is unwell, but still with a small W, working with a small W. Catherine, we're going to need like a red carpet or, you know, something like that to see her again. She's most healthiest and strong on days where she can be the most glamorous, like Trooping of the Colour or Wimbledon. She feels best on those days, apparently. All other days, she's not well enough to come out. Nonetheless, both Charles and Catherine are still ill. So it's really just William and the other minors.
But they're still, certainly the king's still carrying. In my view, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, cry all you want and cry more. Olivia Johnson, thank you so much for 22 months of membership. Very much appreciated. Benjamin, nice to see you, Benjamin. You said 2 lives in one day for me is unusual. Usually I'm too busy. Love this. Lovely to have you here. Yes, Mina, these deranged media people are crazy for real. I mean, quite frankly, there are other more important things than crying about the fact that you didn't get access to Harry and Meghan. There's a whole world of news that needs to be reported on. And maybe they need to refocus on fact-based news that's actually informative and not just making up gossip now. It doesn't quite pay the bills like vitriol and hate, but it pays the bills. Instead of sitting here crying at your old age. Yes, Connie Balmer. Hardy ha ha ha. And this is the reason why they're still mad. no access.
In this case, Harry's team turned down every application from everything from the BBC to the ITV to even, very pro Harry and Meghan newspapers like the Telegraph in UK. All of those were turned down, and they invited one single digital journalist from Harper's Bazaar that did. But in this case,
I mean, the Telegraph definitely isn't pro-Sussex. That's a lie. There is one reporter who Harry invited to the Montecito home, who writes for the Telegraph, but otherwise, and she did quite a good piece. I think she's actually done 2 really good pieces on the Sussexes. One talking about the unfair treatment of Meghan, and then the one where Harry invited her to their home. But other than that, to call the Telegraph pro Harry and Meghan, that's a lie. And I'm loving this. They have completely and utterly cut them off. I mean, I don't even, mind you, he's busy and he's doing his other things, so maybe he wouldn't have wanted to go. But, you don't even see Omid reporting there now. Yes, Denise. Poor little man. Oh, indeed, Valerie. Arthur Edward needs to repent. But I think it's too late for him now. Yeah, Royal Ozempic, the Ozempic monarchy. They wanted a slim down monarchy and you got it. So what are you complaining about now? The past royal model that we had is officially dead. The access, even to the other royals, to be honest, I think there are certain things that they're not getting access to. The fact that you had someone trying to break into, Kate's medical records, that tells you something. They really don't know what's going on. I think when it comes to whatever was going on with Kate, I think they were kept completely out. So they're scrambling for anything now. I think I even saw a headline yesterday in Yahoo talking about Harry and Meghan are desperate to come back. So they've gone back to all of the old narratives that they used to post. They're still just rehashing them, hoping something will stick, hoping that the people who love reading about nasty stuff about Harry and Meghan will stay put and keep coming back for more. They're like dealers dealing out this drug of hate, clinging on to dear life, hoping that the peasants don't wake up and see what's going on and start trying to get off their drug of hate. Anyway, despite all of this, despite all that they throw at Harry and Meghan, still doing great. Here are some financial reports that came out regarding Meghan's Together cookbook. So it's still making money, empowering communities. Others, Centabala donation from the Diana Princess of Wales Memorial Fund. So, hang on a sec. I think I've... One moment, folks. One moment. Because this is meant to be showing money that was earned from the Together cookbook, but basically the Together cookbook is still bringing in money. Just give me a sec, because I think there was a bit of text that was accompanying this. Yes. So they bashed her, they trashed her, they tried to link her to terrorists, they did everything but thanked her for the creation of the Together cookbook. So happy to see the public still buying and supporting charities like St. Felix Project, with the profits of over 58,000 in 2023. Incredible. And indeed, the Together cookbook was hugely popular. Even Kamala Harris has a copy of the book. And the Felix Project, by the way, it helps to feed local communities by rescuing surplus food from the food industry and delivering it to frontline charities and schools. So that was tied into the Together cookbook. And the impact that the cookbook continues to have. Long-term impact. This is what we want. Not showing up to smile and wave here and there. Okay. Yeah. So a review of the Royal Foundation in 2023 annual report shows that the Together Cookbook, Meghan's Empowering Communities project with the Hub Community Kitchen had sales income of 80,000 in total. Amazing. Boy. All right. And you can, if you haven't bought it, this is your sign to buy it. It's a gorgeous little cookbook, and the recipes are actually quite easy to follow and delicious. Right, I think that was mostly what I was gonna say today. I will end with your comments and wrap it up there. I will do another podcast tomorrow. I've had a really, really long day today, by the way. I actually had to drop somebody at the airport, but I was like, I really want to do a podcast today. Joan, you said, crazy in the head, or as the oldies say, insane in the membrane. Indeed. Oh, thank you so much, Lightside. Hey, hey. And thank you so much, Vanessa Jones, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Dolores, she said the British media were denied permission to join Harry, Meghan, and Columbia. Indeed, they were. And I hope they keep getting denied permission everywhere. Oh, thank you so much, Benjamin, for the 3 coffees. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Since when was the Telegraph? You had like 2 nice articles in 7 years, and that apparently makes the Telegraph pro-Sussex. Please. Yeah, even the BBC got blacklisted as well. There's actually another reporter complaining about this in a video. Yeah, exactly. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. But the thing is, they were the hand feeding the royals. So that's why they feel as if they had the upper hand. And even when Harry and Meghan left, the attitude that they had was, oh, well, you're going to need us, just you say. But it's a complete opposite. Meghan knew her power, and she helped Harry to see his power. At the end of the day, the press is a business. So they need to report on something. Whether they get invited or not, they're going to report on it. So what are you talking about? They need to invite you. Because you're reporting on it anyway. Because guess who brings the clicks and the views? So they can sit here and be smug all they want. They can sit here and they can cry all they want. They need to write articles about Harry and Meghan to make money. And even if they're 100 miles down the block, pushed away, as one reporter said, were being pushed further and further away as the day went on. When they were in Colombia, uninvited in Colombia. Even if they are pushed out and shut out, they will still write on whatever secondhand information that they have, because they are obsessed. Look at this. First they hate you, then they copy you. E. Holmes and Nana Akua. First they hate, then they copy. Pathetic. I mean, this lady literally went out and got the same outfit. Same designer. Anywho, let me end with a quote from my upcoming book. I'm doing the finishing touches on the final draft over the weekend, and then I will send it to the formatter. And then I will do another podcast where I talk a little bit more about where the book's going to be available and how it can be available, because I'm getting so many questions. People asking, and thank you so much for the interest that you're showing. People asking about audio book, people asking, is it going to be translated into other languages? Yes, all of that. But because I am self-published, all of those things cost extra money for me, and it takes a little bit longer. So really, all of those things will come depending on how well the English version does, because the English version has to come out first, and then, you know, getting it translated, doing an audiobook, all of those things cost extra money that I have to pay for. So that will all come in time, but it will all come. But I wanted to read another passage from the book today. This is from chapter 2 of Royal Codes. There is nothing in this world worth sacrificing your peace and happiness for. Even the riches of a king aren't worth it. A gold-gilded cage will eventually lose its sparkle and simply become a cage. Life filled with more hardship than happiness, where you have more bad days than good, where you have to pay a price simply to exist, is not a life worth living. And that counts whether you are a prince, a duchess, or just an ordinary peasant. A life where you have to pay a price simply to exist is not a life worth living. And with that, I'm going to love you and leave y'all. Appreciate you as always. Thank you so much to Lauren. You said the British press can cover William and Kate laying on the couch. Exactly. They can cover that. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.